Good day, fellow greasers, come here. Welcome back to Langrisser 3.0. So, okay, this is the third year anniversary for Zlongame. Langrisser is a third year anniversary, and from my next video onward, I'm gonna call it as Langrisser 4.0. I understand they officially call it as 3.0. But that's their third year, and of course I'm not saying I'm right. So before we get started, just a quick explanation. I'm going to call it 4.0 because it's more like a season 4. I'm not going to call it S4. The reason is because it would just sounds like Apex 4 and other viewers might get confused. So right, that's it. And yep, so right off from the anniversary, so as you can see from the screenshot, at the start, so apparently we are saying on the background there's a big ship carrying a big city. So okay, there is some great hints for fans, then followed by the cast members ranging from left to right. So we'll be looking at SP Sherry, SP Lana, Grenier, Almeida, Zerida, Mashu, and Marion Dell, Werner, SP Elwin, Leon, and SP Nunn. So apparently this sounds like, this is just speculation, but it sounds and looks like these are the upcoming characters that will be selected for SP transformation. Any characters that has not been transformed to SP yet, in the following pictures, they might be the next character based on the interview from the previous video. So apparently I have uploaded on my previous video, I have uploaded the original anniversary video from the official group. So now on this part of the video, we'll be breaking down on some information that from the previous video. We will be discussing about some details, skills, and possible speculations in future. So are you guys ready? Let's get started. Sorry, the first part is talking about some recap, and we'll be skipping that part. And yep, and we have the voice actor Seiyu for Mashu. So okay, he's a very handsome guy. Then we have what everyone initially was hoping for as SP Mashu, but it's not. So Team Zlong has actually created this as a new summon character, as hinted by them. It's not going to be SP, as they have other plans for Mashu in future. So let's have a listening and recap at this short clip.
来迎接他的出场。
マシューはゼルダが助けるよ。
マシュー、誰のことだ？
マシューはゼルダのこと、ゼルダとの思い出忘れちゃったの？
思い出？もう一人の私。なるほどな。もう一人の私。夢の中までも探し続け、想像あるはず。暗黒の元に戻ったよ。我らは等しく闇夜に生まれたもの。お前には分かっているだろう。
マシューが絶対にあなたを止める！
カオスの使命を忘れたお前に、私が直々に審判を下す。この手、お前の大切な思い出を粉砕してやる。 世界の均衡は、お前たちが混沌の力を借りたその瞬間、破られた。お前たちの最後の日、私はこの手で葬り去る。
So, right, and this character will be, yes, it's not called Meshu, but instead his opposite is gonna be known as, oh yeah guys, Mr. 1 Point, so watch to the end of my video to look, or to be able to look at the notes and translation that I've done for the following anniversary details, and also breakdown and explanation of the Mashu or Lord Mashu skill set, or well, his actual name is known as wet temp. Oh, ouch! Sorry, I mean, okay, it's pronounced as wet tongue. Well, it's kind of hard to pronounce. So, pardon me, I'm going to call it as Shuma, which is his opposite of Mashu, because apparently that is what he is. So, it's the opposite of Mashu, and yep, to make things easier, I'm going to call it as Shuma here, so pardon me. So at the end of the video, you can look at some notes I have prepared for players who are not able to understand Chinese well. You can look at the notes. So wait, introducing Shuma. Okay, this is the first, this is a new character. He is a new summon, and he is not an SP. So apparently, Zlongame hint that there should be another form for Mashu, and he's the first character to have full anime scene for 3C. So apparently the 3C is a summon that cannot do anything except giving buff and can be summoned multiple times. And only the HP recover effect can be stacked and take up space. And don't worry, we'll elaborate further down the road. So right, as you can see, this is his classes, 2 classes. One is a demon class and one is a flyer. So okay, great mobility. And his faction consists of protagonist, darkness, and mythical realm. So this is definitely a great chance for darkness and mythical realm to come back. And also the protagonist is finally useful in this part. And look at his stats, it's kind of crazy. He has S for HP, S for attack, and S for defense. So okay, how cool this. So okay, before we carry on to the skills, so what is great and special about the top is that they do mention that initially what they describe as demonic Mashu, it's actually not supposed to be in the game. It's just more like a alternate fun idea created by the designer. And another quick fun fact, apparently during the interview they have mentioned that Mashu, the demonized version of Mashu, is not the first character they made. In fact, the first character they made are based on the 2 twins, Lana and Liana. They actually have a, well, what you call demonized version of the 2 characters, and initially it's just like it's just a fun concept, but it was later the idea is being adopted by the team to be used and play as a character. So okay, apparently the team is hinting that in future we might have more other demonized version or dark version of their alternate characters, or alternate versions of the characters, which is the fallen mode, or whichever you're gonna call. So yep, and apparently they're hinting if fans call it, they will do it. Then based on the talk, apparently after what they talked about Mashu, they said a lot of fans have been complaining or seeking justice for our trio characters, namely for Grenier, that he has been not very useful. He has been such a poor thing. a disposable fun character in the game. So they're hoping to make him stronger, and they have been requesting that he will be given an SP mode. So apparently in the talk show, after they have talked about this webcam, or well, Shuma, I'm gonna call it, they talk about that the chances of SP Granium might be coming soon. So okay, hopefully they're gonna make great changes for Grania. If not, it's such a poor thing. The only thing he has right now is Akaya, which is his girlfriend. Then alright, so to his skills, so apparently, okay, this is the skill set and talent of Mashu, or Shuma, sorry. Yep, pardon, it's kind of long. So right, his talent. So, okay, webcam, okay. So, these are the possible talent at rank 6. So, I'm gonna break down a lot of details. So, if you want to get more details about translation, watch to the end. So, right. So, number 1, for his talent, which is known as End of Bond, or terminal bond of terminal end. So, right, when entering battle, increase attack, defense, and damage due by 15%. Number 2, at the end of turn, reduce or debuff turn by 1 caused by enemy. Number 3, when enemy die, it will cause randomly 3 other enemies to gain this following debuff known as Despair. The effect will be, it will cause enemy passive to lose its effect, and attack from Shuma cannot be guarded. The whole effect will last for 2 turns. Then coming to the skill, so the first skill on the top right from up to down is Dark Shadow Leap or Dark Shadow Jump. It's an active skill. It's a 1C active. So, okay, it's kind of crazy. Okay, the ability is to teleport to beside any enemy whose HP is below 100%. So that's number 1. And number 2, when within 3 squares or tiles range, there are Shadow of Alhazard in range, or Shuma teleport beside an enemy who has Despair debuff. It'll allow him to act again. But do note that when using these skills at the end of the turn, the buff you have will not be reduced. This is a very great thing to have. So alright, that's it for the first skill. 1C. Second skill, Dark Annihilation, is a physical active 2C skills. So here we go. Number 1, attack a single enemy, deal 1.8 times damage. Number 2, before battle, remove 5 buff from enemy. Number 3, cause healing for target enemy received to become 50% healing damage instead. The effect will last for 2 turns and cannot be dispelled. Then alright, the third skill, Grievance of Demon Dragon or Demon Dragon Grudge Howl. It's a physical AoE and it's a 2C. Number 1, deal 0.33 times damage to enemy within 2 squares or tiles. And number 2, damage enemy will not be able to heal and guard. So this is like a upgrade version of Sword Dance, and the effects will last for 2 turns. Number 3, after casting these skills, he can move 3 squares or tiles again after the attack. So okay, this is kind of cool, giving him extra mobility after attacking, so he get the chance to retreat back to ally to be guarded. Okay, then moving to his 3C, known as Shadow of Alhazard, is a physical AoE 3C passive. So the effects are as follows. So we'll be going through on the passive first. So it contains both passive and active. So passive. Number 1, when battling against holy units, increase attack, defense and magic defense by 15%. When Shuma Heroes Soldiers unit is demon class, the above effect will increase by 60% instead. So, okay, finally, they get to, I can't say 100% solve the issue between Holy and Demon class, but at least Demon class will not be such a poor soul when battling against Holy class, but that only applies to Shuma. Alright, then active skills. Deal 0.15 times AoE damage to enemy within 3 squares or tiles. That's number 1. And number 2, summon a Shadow of Alhazard in the location. So apparently this is a summon that takes up the space. The buff effect is as follows. Number 1, Demon Sword Protection is a command skill. For each enemy within 3 squares or tiles, the damage taken by the summoner will be reduced by 15% and has a cap limit at 45%, which means maximum 3 enemies. Number 2, Darkness Command is a command skill. Increase all Darkness faction ally in field stats aside from HP by 5%. So yeah, I got to forward a bit. So this is a part. Okay. Then number 3, Impure Regeneration is a passive. Recover summoner HP by 30% at the end of a turn. And this effect, there's the only effect that can be stacked. So do note that. Oops, sorry.
また何
Okay, then number 3 of the active skill. So units attack will increase by 20% and Shuma will gain immune effect which will last for 2 turns. Then after casting these skills, he will be able to move again and attacks enemy within 3 squares or tiles range. So apparently after casting a skill, he can move for 3 squares and tiles, and if there is any enemy in range, he'll get to attack them. So apparently, based on what I've described, I gotta say, for players who intend to use him, I suggest that enchantment might be using Clock for extra summoning and extra act again, and magic if you want to do both AoE and single target effect, it will be very effective. I don't think he needs breeze because, well, he has dragon class and he has great mobility, so that's not a big issue. And based on what is hinted by the team is that the summon Shadow of Alhazard apparently is a summon that will take up space and it can be summoned multiple times, so why not? So if you can use Claw and you can deal damage and Clock Prop, you will be able to summon it again. However, if the team decide that this effect cannot be triggered by Claw, then, well, maybe Magic is the better option. So right, this will conclude the part 4. Shuma's effect and talent. Then alright, on this part we have some lucky draw corner. We can see how much freebies they want to give, and they're getting all the Ghost Concert characters to give a bit of fan service for the fans. So okay, it's good. Then alright, next up, we will be introducing with we gotta call it a revamp or upgrade version of existing characters. So first up will be Werner, which is aka the Sigma. And apparently this part 3 of the story, part 4 of the story will be after Langrisser 5. So apparently his original sword, as you look at the design, is mentioned that his original sword is split into 2 using Crimsonian technology. So apparently they hint that the left and right blade for Werner ability is the first sword is to do close combat physical attack, and the second is to counter range and magic attack. And next, yep, we're gonna have McLean's sister, which is Marion Dell, who is the previous known as Lambda, and apparently, again, same as Werner, is after Langrisser 5 End of Legend story. They continue their journey. They managed to kind of get saved by Langrisser, touched by their will to sacrifice themselves for humankind. So apparently they might be keen to be a resurrect version. So apparently this is the new Lambda, or they're gonna call her Marion Dell now. So she changed from purple hair to pink, and apparently they hint that Zlongame is trying to dig and provide a deeper plot for audience to guess. So apparently some audience has been guessing if they are the true parents of, yep, you guessed it right, pink hair Almeida. But whether it's true or false, well, fans gotta guess. So yeah, we have mentioned the change of the story. It will be moved from Yellows to the new upcoming world. So story change from Yellows to new world, which I have problem pronouncing. I guess it is pronounced as Gae Payes, which is a possible alternate Greek mixed with other culture. And apparently based on the PV here, we can see some of the new characters which are both familiar and unfamiliar to us. So we're gonna have a quick look here. So apparently we see, oh, this is definitely my ara vibe on this son. Okay.
エルシュン計画は私が画策したものだ。
So apparently they mentioned about the Elysian plan. So correct me if I'm wrong. Gizarov became the holy god mode. It seems to be called Elysian Projectile, if I'm not wrong. But again, correct me if I'm wrong. So apparently there was hint that someone came up with the plan for Gizarov's plot. I'm not sure if this is related, so pardon me if I'm wrong. And yeah, Langrisser will finally be receiving a new opening theme, which is sung by the CV of, the voice actor of Mashu and Zerida. And yep, apparently Mashu is no longer holding on to L hazard as seen by the introduction of Shuma. So you can guess Mashu's task now is to go to the new world and find ways to save Zerida, as he has been tortured and used by Shuma. So, wow. And yep, this is just my guess. There is something that I noticed. So this is either gonna be the common spear used by all Lancers in the storyline, or, correct me if I'm wrong, this kind of looked like Grenier's spear, which is very weird. And then this last character who is crying out blood, showing the Grenadier Spear is heavily damaged on the battlefield and a person with white hair crying blood on the place stand up. Is it possible that he might be Grenier and Akaya's child from future? This is just some weird thing that come to my mind when I first saw the scene, because the spear really reminds me of the one that used by Grenier. So if you guys look at the previous video update, so apparently Mashu will meet up with McLean, who is Lambda's brother, and he will also meet up with Viresh and Brenda at a new world. So they'll go to more new world or land, which seems to be an alternate version of Egypt, Japan, and etc. Then apparently, like we mentioned, Schumann forced and convert Zerida to be sought to destroy all he loved, to become a lord, to dominate and purge the land for Lord Chaos. So this will be another objective or plot in the fourth story. Then we're gonna have a new opening theme, which will be shown at the end again. Then okay, moving up to next. So the new land. So apparently they will be traveling the first stop. So apparently the team do mention that the first stop they will travel to is Starship City on the top right, which is created by the characters from McLean, Viraj, and Brenda, who saved those citizens of, the slave of Crimsonian. So apparently they'll visit their first stop then followed by second stop, which is east. It's known as Syria. So apparently it's a Japanese style team, and they will meet more Japanese team characters. And as we saw, the RRR vibe characters with purple hair. Then third will be Rancha from the west, which is more ancient Maya civilization. They talk about the people that live in a very harsh environment, and there have been lots of slavery involved. Then fourth is non-Ferronel land, is a desert land, and is more like Egypt, and they hint that it is. The Lord is controlled by a female character known as a queen of the land. And fifth is the Southland. Nolam is a snow land. And sixth, the middle of all land, is Elysium, is a mysterious island or land that so far not much details has been disclosed. And apparently from this timeline onward, or this new part of the story, the story will be told on dual timeline. So apparently Werner and Marion Dell are characters from the past, before the period of Mashu. So they are talking about how the actions of Werner and Marion Dell will affect the present timeline of the characters that Mashu will meet up with, and possible the trouble that will cause them to get up into. So apparently there has been some hint. The characters, like you can see, the Lord. So this will be the new possible in charge of Crimsonian, the surviving Crimsonian. So okay. Then second will be Syria, the RR vibe sister, and then from Rancha is apparently what we see at the PV is more like a Shota, which means a small boy kid. Then from Farland is the desert, again is a queen, but everyone is joking, saying that they can't tell that from the shadow that this is a female character. And then we have Marlon. So okay, again we can't tell if it's a guy or girl. So for the dual timeline, so I've seen Werner and Marion Dell are advancing in the past, and then Mashu and the gang will be on present, and they will be teamed up with McLean. So apparently, I'm just thinking, is it possible that Werner and Marion Dell are free characters to be given by Zlong because they are the main characters in the new story. So apparently they gave us Mashu, Almeida, and Grenier. So why not the new characters? Then alright, we will be skipping. So thanks for the new Shuma cosplay and Zerida cosplay, and by the rest, so we gotta see a lot of cosplay. We will skip this part and get to the next section. So right, we have blessing from the CV characters from Mashu to Zerida CV. And then we're moving on to new system. So apparently new system update will provide new layout, which is supposed to be more user-friendly, and you can finally have your own character as laid out, aka your Kanban Musume or Musko. So yeah, apparently this is what you can see when you enter the game. So it's gonna be shifting more. Finally, we are getting kind of 2.5D live, 5D, like maybe other games. So apparently maybe you can touch or wipe your or you can paddle or cuddle your characters, or well, whichever you're gonna do. Okay, then next, characters can now own and build their floating city when they reach level 50. So apparently, they have been hinted that players can use to build or create items and materials. So this following, listen carefully, are very, very important in the new building system, which will help a lot of players, and definitely to hopefully it will make more people to like this game, as it's gonna make it farming and stuff to make it easier for players. So right, players can use to build or create materials. Then summon heroes will stay at the town. They can interact with players, and players will get chance to receive present from the heroes they own. The ability, and then moving to building your towns, like apparently they are synchronization system. So apparently the ability and effectiveness of building is based on the heroes that you place in. So the more the same factions heroes are together in the building, the better it will work and provide you with possible better materials. And it is at this part that they hint to give Grenier SP mode, as it is such a poor soul. Then items and resources the floating city can provide includes soldier training materials, SSR scrolls, Wheel of Fate for extra Gate of Fate. Okay, you gotta fast forward a bit. So yeah, apparently from top left to right, so apparently there is items training material, there's floating city apartment for heroes to live in, then there is CC White department, and there's a timeless organizations school. So as you can see on the second line of pictures, you can see the Aniki pants, you can see SSR scroll, Wheel of Fate, SSR equipment, and what looks to be like a puzzle. So apparently, okay, providing Wheel of Fate for extra Gate of Fate, then players will also be able to choose choosable SSR equipment. So as you can see on the fourth picture, that's a great news. Characters can, well, you can save up your crystal and focus on summon and maybe other stuff. So apparently, what you can see on the fifth picture is a puzzle. Apparently it's another great news. It's a generic all you can use hero shards, but it's not used for getting new summons, but for characters you have owned. So apparently if you have, let's say, a 3-star or rank 3 Leon, so apparently if you own Leon, you can get to use this generic shards to rank him up faster. Then also have high grade resource production, but possible there will be more better functions in future. Then third, upgrade function for existing system. So number one, they talk about on the third line, upgrade will be timeless trail sweep level or stages will increase. So possible you get to sweep to 3s5. Then daily energy will increase too. Then they were gonna increase auto battle count. Then they're gonna increase the usage of clock of forgiveness. Whoa. And last but not least, they hint that there will be more stuff to improve your floating city that you created to benefit for better benefits in future, and they will also provide small mini games in it. That's kind of cool. Then alright, moving on to the next part. So 2 new soldier units, one from Holy and one from Lancer. I'm just gonna give rough translations of the name. So number one, we're gonna call it, on the left is Holy Spirit Feels Battle Priest. So his effect are as follow. Number one, when attacked, units will not take close combat penalty. So apparently it's a range. Number two, healing received from heroes increased by 15%. Number three, soldiers' defense increased by 25%. And number four, when hero class is holy, it will in return increase the soldier's attack by 30%. So this is very useful and cool. Then moving to the Lancer, I'm going to call it Country Royal Guard for now. So apparently it is mentioned that it's going to be a Lancer to use more on attack. And because, well, usually your Lancer unit has been using for just protection and guarding, it's more passive towards being attacked. So now they're going to be the first Lancer to focus both defense and attack. So, okay, the effect are as follows. Number one, soldiers' attack increased by 30%. Number two, when actively attacked, soldiers will ignore enemy defense by 15%. Oh, that's cool. Then number three, when being attacked by enemy, for each step they move before battle, they will reduce the damage taken by 6% and is being capped at 30%. Then moving on to collaboration new. So again, for fans who do not understand Chinese, so apparently Record of Lotus will return, but as just a pure rerun. So there will be no new characters. It's only purely for fans who missed out Asylum and Delete. So apparently it's a sad thing that they do not have a rerun for Yu Yu Hakusho due to lots of, well, license issue. So a rerun of Record of Lotus War. Then, okay, finally the next collaboration, which to a lot of fans' disappointment, is that it is not Kimetsu no Yaiba or Gintama. Apparently Kami, this is just my view, I suspect that initially they might want to do a collaboration for Gintama and Kimetsu no Yaiba, aka Demon Slayers, but again, they definitely get stuck up with some licensing issues, like what happened to Yu Yu Hakusho and another gaming app, which previously has issues with Kimetsu no Yaiba, where they cannot use the skin for in-game battle. So recently there has been a lot of negative things happening for collaboration games outside from Japan. And I believe this is just my suggestion, that is a last minute collaboration that I managed to find, and it is from Sega Valkyrie Chronicles, aka Senjo no Valkyrie. Yep, apparently this is a game created by Sega, and apparently they hint that this IP has lots of girls characters, so it's highly possible that in the game that you get to appear will be the female leading and a rival characters, and maybe the SR is either going to be another female characters, or it's going to be possible our commander male characters. Again, this is just speculations. Then, alright, and moving on is just to the prize corner. So apparently they are giving, they give up the lucky draw and apparently pick the best prize for CM players only. So, yep, apparently that's what they do. And at the end of the video, I'll show you the picture of what we are being given as. So apparently they give us quite a lot of picks, and most important is they give us 16 golden tickets for summon. And then it's a bit sad. Not only are they doing prize giving for the CM players, they also did a live lucky draw for 60 players who liked their channel during this anniversary talk to win related products like figurines, pillow, and etc. And oh my god, I miss it. Dang. Then, alright, moving on to these sections. I'll just do a quick brief explanation. This is just some fan-made Langrisser story, original fun story, in celebrations of the game. So yeah, apparently we have go through the skills of Shuma. So okay, we have almost come to the end. So right at the end of the video, we will be able, or we'll get to be introduced with the new opening theme of Langrisser Season 4 or the third year period. So okay, we've come to the end. Remember to like and subscribe my video. And sorry if I've not do a very good job explaining, and yep, that's it. So okay, thank you guys for your support. And last but not least, we will end with the new opening song. Okay, quick dice to all of you and goodbye. And of course, after the opening, stay tuned to the end. We'll get to see the translations of the whole event and the skills of Shuma, aka Wet Batam. Oh, yep. So, yep, goodbye.
特意制作了3周年的主题曲。接下来，请欣赏由马修和泽瑞达为我们带来的全新主题曲《奇迹的誓言》。
記憶の殻の中
世界が眠る夜君を探していた
二人傷つく定めでも
痛みも抱きしめてその手を掴んだんだ命を揺らす風
生きる意味気づくとき
目覚めた瞳に
きらめく
二人が
悲しみを超えて強くここに誓うよたとえこの体がなくなったとしても信じてここはいつでもそばにいるよ迷路をたどるように
僕らが出会った意味一人探していた
暗く落ちてく体の中
温かな記憶がたった一つの証触れられなくても
泣かないでここにいる
いつかまた会える
奇跡を
今でも
信じているよ
「
な瞑想になっても立ち止まりはしないよ。そんなに儚い命燃え尽きるまで強くここに誓うよ。たとえこの体がなくなったとしても二人の絆は消えずに光り輝く。
So right, goodbye guys, and see you on the next Langrisser 4.0 video.